Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the 460th episode of the PUCL Podcast. I'm your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my late night co-host, R.Sigma.
Hello.
And P Mcgee.
Hello, hello.
And we are here for this special, this is still releasing at like midnight on Monday, as far as they know. So like they don't know the difference, but I know the difference.
We know.
Because this is a late night episode of PUCL. Thatch, by the time you're reading this, is hanging out on a patio on the North Beach of the San Juan Island, staring at Vancouver.
Drinking mimosas.
Not mimosas. It's fall one. Probably wine.
This is fair.
Probably wine. Probably wine. Maybe like a nice cocktail of sorts. But Thatch is going on a trip to visit his in-laws. So, and take that for what you will. Thatch will not be around this week, and probably not next week either. I think next week is a super special episode with I think at least Whimsicott and Sublime so far. I don't know who the third will be.
Yeah, someone else will be there.
TBD.
Sure.
Yeah, TBD. But again,
tune in.
Welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007. And we talk everything here Pokemon, from the video game to the trading card game. I don't even know, what are we talking about today? You wrote a topic, and it was better than any of the topics that I came up with, Sigma. So I think it's video game.
It is video game.
We haven't talked about things in between in a while. That's because Pokemon isn't very good at making them anymore.
It's been a quiet 3 months. There's nothing in between. There's barely anything on either end. I
was like really excited for Mystery Dungeon, like when that released earlier this year, and then I don't know. I feel like I've been let down because maybe not. That's the wrong thing to say, because we got Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
Announced, and I think that's solid. Like, I can't wait to do that episode. That's going to be an exciting episode, just because it's years in the making. I am very excited for that, because when I saw Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I'm like, cool, we're gonna get proper spin-off games again. That would be really cool. This is them like dipping their toes in the water to see if like it's there. And it's sold like a spin-off game. I mean, that's
couple million.
A couple million, which is exactly what you would expect. That's how much they sold back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't anything worse.
And especially those, like, I don't think too much work had to go into those other than in like the graphics department. Like, you're not coming up with game mechanics. You're not coming up with a bunch of other stuff. You're just kind of plopping it all in. And it was cool art. I like the art style in Mystery Dungeon.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was
absolutely.
Cool. And I would kill for like a Mystery Dungeon DX, or not DX, a Mystery Dungeon like Explorers of Sky, Explorers of Darkness, because I've never played those, and I keep getting told like those are the best.
They are better.
By Osh?
They're better.
By the community, like, okay, so like here's like the really bad thing. And I think I said this on the show before, but like I have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, and I've got it, and it's like ready to go, and I just haven't played it. And it's probably one of those things as like a content creator, like you enjoy, like I enjoy Pokemon, right? But it gets to the point where you're just like, man, I don't want to do this unless I'm making content, you know? It's like a horrible thing, because it's like the one thing I've put off that I'm just like, this is something that I can experience like raw and without any problem, because of, what is it called? Because like I have had no reaction to this so far, and I want that. I want to like keep that and preserve it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just want to preserve it and just be like, yeah, I can play it on Twitch or something, and people will be like, oh man, look at Thatch's reaction. That's so cool. Look at him. He's never played this before. And then they're just like, but this is my favorite because Primal Dialga.
It actually has a story, so you get to like react to the characters in the story. Like there's actually developed characters for like, which is like a real rare thing for Pokemon. So
my question to you then for that would be, are they like in comparison to like Mystery Dungeon DX? Because like I didn't play Red or Blue Rescue Team, and then I played DX's story. Like, is it more developed than that? Because like I would say
absolutely.
Was okay.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of like secondary and tertiary characters, just because the setting you're in is a little different. You're in like a guild rather than kind of on your own. Okay. And so like all the guild members get their own little bits of development, and it's kind of fun and entertaining, and they all have their quirk.
They all
Okay.
had their little side stories too.
Yeah.
If I remember. Right,
Okay.
in Sky. So that was cool.
Okay, that's cool. I see, because I never got to experience any of that. And so, I mean, because I keep putting it off. And it's one of those things that, like, we should do at some point. We need, like, all of the emails.
Stretch goal.
All of the emails. Well, we did hit that. We did hit that stretch goal for the, what's it called? For the badges. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So that's happening. Yeah, that's happening soon. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see that. Excited to go get the badges. Oh my gosh, I should put in for a quote for that before I leave. Now that I think about it, I should do that.
Probably.
Yeah, I should do that. No, I would love to like see more spin-off games though from Pokemon. I've just been waiting for that because like it seemed for a while, and I'll still say this, I still stand behind it a little bit, and maybe they're coming back to their roots a little bit, but I think they just keep trying to chase like the next Pokemon Go. And it's got me a little concerned because Pokemon Go is Pokemon Go, and I don't think you can really blow it too much out of the water. I still miss the footsteps. Does anybody remember the footsteps? I remember the footsteps.
Vaguely.
I remember the footsteps.
I remember
don't
the footsteps.
I don't miss them.
I mean, the reason we got rid of the footsteps is because people were inconsiderate, and they ruined it for everybody. But I do like Pokestop, like the new tracking system. It's better than what they had in the interim between not footsteps and that.
Yes.
Which was nothing. Which was absolutely nothing. The nearby list was like, maybe this Pokemon's close. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I remember Pokemon Go at launch. Launch Pokemon Go is pretty cool. Pretty hype.
It was an experience, and I think that like really takes you back to the nostalgia of early Pokemon. It was like an experience. Yeah,
exactly. I think a lot of things with Pokemon, I think that's the one thing Pokemon's got going for it compared to other franchises, is that it's more experience based than a lot of the other things or a lot of the other video game franchises. Because I would say like Pokemon, like 1998 Pokemon was an experience. Pokemon Red and Blue are hot garbage of games. Like, those games are bad.
But the culture was all experiencing it at the
But the
same time.
culture was there. Like, they had, like, the problem was, like, Pokemon Mania existed, and that, like, elevated everything. It was the Beatles of video games, man. It came in. That's kind of what happened. Because, like, if you think about what happened in Japan, like, they got the games, and then they got the anime because the games were pretty hot. And then, like, they got a manga with it after that. And then they got, like, trading cards that worked with it. And so, like, it was something that, like, gradually did it. And then, like, they're just like, you know what? Let's take it all to America. And that's what happened. And that's what the Beatles did. That's 100% what the Beatles did. Because the Beatles were in Britain from like 1962 to 1964. They released a bunch of albums, and then they took all of the good songs from those albums and put it on Meet the Beatles, and then released it, and all of them hit number one at once. You will never have a band like the Beatles ever again because of the internet. And I think similarly, we will never have a video game like Pokemon because of the internet ever again.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is the way I
There's
think
the discovering aspect. The aspect of like discovering something in your little group, in your little community, like that's gone because now everything, if it's any good at all, it catches fire on the internet some way or another.
Exactly. I mean, that was a big thing for the TCG actually, a long time ago. There was an episode of TCG Cast actually over on PUCL Plus that Gator and I did. We interviewed one of his friends who was a worldwide judge, and she talked about net decking, and it was a huge phenomenon and a huge thing that they had to worry about. So we talked about that, and so like the internet like really changed the TCG landscape because of net decking and stuff like that. So it's kind of the same for the Pokemon game, like in terms of discovery. Like with I think we haven't felt anything as exciting as we did like with Meltan. Meltan was done. Meltan's release was done very well. Meltan in general is done very poorly.
Yes,
but
one day you'll be able to evolve Meltan in a mainline game.
That's not happening. It's not. It's just not happening. It's not possible. Because the way I see it, like it makes more sense to me after watching like Pokemon Journeys.
Yeah.
The way that like I didn't comprehend the way, and maybe this is just like me being a crotchety old man, but like I didn't realize that the way they were trying to do it, and I still don't know how I feel about this, but the way they're trying to do it is they're just like Pokemon is all of these things. It's not just the video game. It's not just Pokemon Go. It's not just the anime. It's not just the TCG. It's all of these. And they're trying to like make that. I think that's kind of been their message lately. And so they want them all to interact in some way.
Yeah.
And that's why Meltan is a thing.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about a Pokemon not belonging to a generation. Like, that just still feels very off to me. And, like,
yes.
We've been having it. A Pokemon has always been attached to a generation for 25 years, with the exception of Meltan and Melmetal.
Meltan just is.
Meltan just is. It's like this anomaly.
I don't think we'll ever get another thing like Meltan.
No.
It'll be hard.
I don't think that'll ever happen because I think the only reason we got Meltan is because Pokemon Go was as big as Pokemon Go.
It's made billions of dollars. That's the qualification to have your own special Pokemon. Make billions of dollars as a side Pokemon game.
You're just not going to get that out of like Pokemon Masters or anything.
No.
Nope.
Well, it has to have the ease of access. Masters, like, if you don't play gacha games, and I don't, like, it's not very welcoming. The way Go is, you open your phone, you click on a Pokemon, you throw a Pokeball. Like, that's very simple.
Well, you can successfully play Pokemon Go without paying money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think the same could be said for Masters.
No.
You can, you'll just have, like, a bad time.
Exactly. I don't think you'll have a bad time playing Pokemon Go for free.
Unless you live out in the country and it's just hard to get Pokeballs. I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people, like, gifts help that a lot, but...
Even if you spend money, I don't think that's going to help you.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories about, like, just not living by Pokestops.
Yeah.
And you just don't get Pokeballs.
Yeah, I guess I take that for granted. There's one next to where I live, and I've been spinning casually for 3 years now whenever I open my phone. So I don't think about that. But I guess that would be a problem if you didn't have one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But this is a good place to stop. We do have some things to talk about in the news, so let's kick it on over and cue that epic music.
Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about. The first being the most exciting of news. Something that nobody's ever asked for. Because everybody really enjoyed this movie. Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD in the US on November 17th.
Woo!
It is still on Netflix.
I don't care about that movie.
As should be noted, it is still on Netflix.
In case you were worried about losing your access, it's still there.
What? Nobody. That movie just doesn't make any sense to me on a lot of levels.
It saddens me because they had such a good streak going with the Zero Aura movie.
Like the Zero Aura movie, and then I Choose You. Like, everybody likes to give I Choose You so much crap, but if you ignore like the random Pikachu out of place line, that it's really bad in the dub, because in the dub, for those of you who don't know, they do actually use Pikachu's Japanese voice actress for like the Pika Pika lines and stuff like that. And because she doesn't speak English, obviously, or she probably does, but not like fluently. Well, I shouldn't say fluently. That's probably wrong. But she doesn't do so confidently. Maybe that's the word. They had somebody else do the dub for like the English lines for that movie. But in Japan, they actually had Pikachu's voice actress do it. And so it's very continuous in Japan. And I think that's something that, like, I don't know, like in that context, I can appreciate it. But I remember being at that movie, like I went to it with a couple of friends, and they were just like, what, Pikachu talk? That was really weird. And I'm just like, yeah, but I knew, well, one, I was prepared. I knew it was going to happen. And two, I was just like, it fits with the story. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad. But yeah, those two movies are really good. I appreciate those two.
Yeah, that's why Mewtwo Strikes Back kind of hits a sour chord, because it's like, no, we didn't need it.
No, we did. Well, what's even worse is like at the end of which movie was it? It wasn't the Zero Aura movie. There was another movie, because I feel like they got off sequence somewhere with the way they were doing the movies, or they just decided, hey, we don't want to do the movies like we were, which is probably fair, because the Volcanion and Magearna movie was awful.
Yeah, I'm okay with ditching the companions.
Yeah, I'm just really okay with it just being like this random Ash universe character that's not really in the universe that we have Ash in. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain it, because it's really weird. Also, so there have been so many Sinnoh hints in quotes over the years. It just drives me nuts because, like in the I Choose You movie, like the companions that join him throughout that movie are both from Sinnoh, and that's like 3 years ago now, right? This is all when like we're still hyping up like the hashtag Sinnoh remakes or whatever.
Right.
This has been happening for years. I don't know if Game Freak is playing like the longest con in the entire world.
The best part is I don't think there's going to be an outcry for like Unova remakes anytime soon because.
No, don't say that because like that's what we felt. That's what we felt like when we got the Hoenn remakes. We're like, yeah, nobody's gonna really be like, oh, I can't wait for the Gen 4 remakes, and then it happened. Because the thing that's like crazy to me is like if you look at the spacing between like the game and the remake, it just keeps getting larger and larger and larger.
Well, yeah, because it's like once per console they do a remake. They've never doubled down on one console. And
yeah,
so
I agree with that.
Usually get two generations per console now since like the DS.
I'm really okay
we already
with
got
that.
A remake in Pokemon Yellow for the Switch, so we're gonna have to wait another console.
Oh no, please no, please no.
That's our remake.
I want to treat Pokemon Let's Go like we treat Meltan as an anomaly.
It was a one-off. There was a vacuum for it, and it filled it okay.
There were megas, so it's not a real Pokemon game anymore.
Yes. All right. I don't know who's next. We didn't pick colors.
P Mcgee can have it.
Okay.
That's fine. So obviously the Clefable Equinox event was last weekend, so you could have gotten your shiny Clefables. That's done now. They've been doing that like once in the middle of the month on the weekends for like the last 3 months because there's no Gigantamax Pokemon left to promote that they haven't. But that's done now. And so, I mean, it's true. I mean, they've run out of things to promote. That's why we have these like weird events that are going on in the middle of the month.
Okay. So like everybody can tell me all they want that like Isle of Armor was planned. And like that's what was going on. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like I feel like the Gigantamax like soup thing didn't mesh well with their original plans to like keep raids going.
Right. It's possible. I mean, I'm glad it exists.
Oh no, I think this is 100% how it should have existed from the get-go.
Well, yes, absolutely.
But like it's like I'm just saying like a lot of things just don't make sense. Linea's not here to tell me that I'm wrong, and he would. So I want to be fair because like there's going to be that iTunes reviewer that Thatch doesn't think anybody's opinions are valid. No, I think they're valid. I can just disagree all the time.
Which is fine. That event happened. We're back to Electric and Grass, so enjoy that for the next like 4 days after or this comes out. 2 days maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's going to change on the first. That's Thursday. That's Thursday.
So enjoy Electric and Grass. So Toxicity. Get your tanky Appletons and your fun looking Flapples, and then
I hear they're really good in VGC.
They do some things.
Yeah. All right, now we can go to Sigma.
All right. So, countries across, I believe, Europe right now have confirmed that Gigantamax Centiskorch Dynamax crystals will be given out from September 25th to October 25th. And you get max IVs guaranteed in HP, attack, and defense, but honestly, you should just breed one because... I don't believe there's had been any confirmation for the US yet, but GameStop does have a promotion where if you buy like $15 worth of cards, you get like a free Centiskorch promo in quotation marks because it's not really a promo, it's just the card they grabbed from the Sword and Shield set that's worth like 10 cents. So it's not worth the price of entry there.
It seems like a wasted spot, like that whole Dynamax crystal thing. Because like at launch, like you get like your pseudo dragons with it.
Yes.
And like that was cool and that was nice because you could get those kind of early if you wanted to have them for a playthrough. But like it just seems like it's like a wasted spot now, like that nothing cool gets promoted in.
Oh man, I just feel like raids in general, I think, have been a missed opportunity entirely. Like you could do some really cool, like we got some really cool stuff. I still think Zeraora, like hands down best. Mewtwo was great too. We need more stuff like that. That should be happening like once a month. I don't care what they say.
In preparation for like Crowned Tundra, they should have been like incorporating things slowly. Like maybe Nidoking comes out in a raid like a couple weeks before. Something to get us like hyped up because they've made it very clear you don't need to own the DLC in order to have the Pokemon in your Pokedex.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, but they're barely putting those Pokemon in the raids to begin with.
Yes.
I think the one that we had this month was Lilligant during the Clefable event. And
No. So, but we're talking about just like what would be really cool in terms of just like in general, because I understand they want you to like have your friends who own Isle of Armor to invite you to an Isle of Armor raid. Like that's what they want. Yeah. They don't want you just like finding them in the game, because they want you to buy the DLC, which has like a huge attachment rate anyway. So who cares? And so I don't know. I still think it would be really cool to like hype it up, like P Mcgee said. Like I honestly, I think the way they should have done it to begin with, they should have said like, oh, you're gonna get like 50 new Pokemon with each DLC or something like that, and they take the other 50 and they just sprinkle them in as drops for raids. I think
it would
that
have
would
been
be
a good
hype.
way to get through the months, like because they've had nothing. They've had nothing since June, and they've been like sprinkling in like these shiny raids to like get us through. But that could have been like a way, like even if it was only like 5 or 6 mons, like or 5 or 6 like family of Pokemon, that could have really made it more exciting each week to get on your rating.
Exactly.
Oh well, missed opportunity. That seems to be the mantra for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a really cool, like, I thought raids, like, when they were announced, were the best idea. And I still think they're a good idea. Like, I'm very much looking forward to, what is it called? Like, the partner, like, the group raids we have to do in Crowned Tundra. I am excited for that. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I am excited for that. Let's see. Do we want to talk about the card, Sigma?
It's a quick one, because we don't know anything about it. We just know that
Hey!
we know retailer sites that there's a new product 4.5 coming out for Sword and Shield on February 19th. That should be a small set or a bonus set compared to what we already have, and it's likely the anniversary set. We don't know what set from Japan it comes from, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
As we expected, because Generations came on the 20th anniversary.
Yep.
Not surprised.
I really want to see, like, I don't know, the 25th anniversary is coming out. The thing that I like that one rumor you sent me, that it was just a tweet of a guy who said, if everybody's upset at Mario 35, which I still don't understand why everybody was outraged about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I still don't understand the outrage whatsoever. But maybe that's just because I have the money to spend on video games, and like I can understand if like people have to like decide like between video games and not video games. Mm-hmm. But for me, like, yeah, I can buy like a $60 game a month or something like that.
Yeah.
And plus Among Us. And so like, I don't have any problem with that. And so like when I saw Super Mario 3D All-Stars come out, I was like, cool, this is awesome. And then like the Reddit erupted and I was very confused. I'm still confused. Because I'm just like, yeah, it's $60 to play all these cool games on your Switch. Isn't that awesome?
I'll throw money at nostalgia.
Yeah. Right?
I think people were just disappointed after like the Spyro and Crash collections did so much, and that's
fine. Okay, so like I guess the other problem is I'm unabashedly a Nintendo fanboy, and I have not played very much like PC, Xbox, or not PC, but Xbox, PlayStation. Mm-hmm. And so like I don't know. I don't have any nostalgia for that, and I didn't pay attention.
But it's the fact that they did so much with that, and also charged $40 for it. It's like,
that's fair.
We did a lot of work, and we're charging less than a standard price game. And it's like, this is a standard price, and there's nothing really added.
I would maybe claim that Mario is more premium.
That's fair.
But that's okay. We'll leave it there. This is not a Mario podcast.
I mean, my personal issue is like stopping selling it in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
I personally think that's happening because they have plans to like move those consoles onto their virtual console, or virtual console in quotes. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to be selling a game that people can get for free. That's my thought, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's where my issue lies. Is like,
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think it's stupid that it's only out for 6 months. All right. So in video game news, the Players Cup 2 qualifiers occurred over the weekend. Hope you did well. Oh, did that start today?
That's just video game. It started.
Did that start today though?
Yeah.
Can I still register or no?
As of 30 minutes ago, you could not register.
Oh, never mind. Because I was thinking about doing it, and then particular things made me very upset today, and I did not do it because I was like, I could do it, and then I could probably get through a few matches, and I could have fun. But never mind then. All right, Pokemon Go then, P Mcgee. Welcome to the Pokemon Go News Hour.
Mega Houndoom and their trend of adding megas to that game will be available September 29th. So I think that's Tuesday.
Sure.
That?
Sure.
Cool. Starting October 1st, Shedinja is going to be the breakthrough reward, which is actually really nice.
That is cool.
That way
yeah.
You can get your Nincada candies as well to involve that Nincada into a Ninjask, because I've had a Nincada for 2 years now, and I've only gotten the one, and I haven't decided to walk it because there's always a pseudo dragon to walk.
Yeah.
I can finally evolve.
I'm okay with that being like a monthly or a yearly thing. Like, I just expect it at this point.
It's also a ghost in October. That makes sense.
It's a ghost and it's a cicada in the fall.
Oh, you're so right.
This is too perfect.
I'm fine with that every year. Like, they can keep doing it.
All right. All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess there's more to talk about, Sigma.
Okay. We got spotlight hours for the month. Nothing particularly exciting. We have a cat Pikachu from Pokemon Journeys, so at least that's kind of cool. It's the first time ever.
Is that a different hat?
It's a different hat.
Collect them all.
We know it's in the code for Sword and Shield, so maybe it'll be transferable. Who knows?
Sure. Well, I think they do. Yeah, I think all the Ash caps are transferable. Well, they might be doing it as well because like you can get them from Gen 7 too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Then we have original cat Pikachu, Shuppet, and Duskull to close out the month. So yay, ghosts. That's
October. Not super. I do like what they're doing though, where they're like letting newer players in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the ghosts are probably going to be spawning anyway. It's
yeah.
Event, but whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a we're going to Gen 6 next. Who's the ghost in Gen 6?
Pumpkaboo is like the perfect
Pumpkaboo. Yep, that's coming out on Halloween. Never mind.
A perfect Pokemon for Halloween release. Hopefully Galarian Yamask too. I'd be down for
That'd be cool.
That'd be nice, yeah.
The 5-star raid battles have been confirmed from October 2nd to 9th. Moltres will be in 5-star raids from the 9th to the 23rd. Giratina Origin Form will be in raids with its shiny being available. And a special raid boss will appear during the Halloween event. It's going to be Pumpkaboo.
That's fine.
No, it's a 5-star.
5-star Gourgeist.
It could be Yveltal, I think I've seen floating around.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be... I could see it being the Galarian birds to like hype up Crowned Tundra.
I think Galarian and birds will start like after Halloween event. That's why we got the birds back.
That's fair.
Get ready for them.
I think we got birds back because it's been a while since birds have been around.
They were just in the community day for GoFest.
That's GoFest. That's different. In collaborate... Oh, wait, never mind.
I'll do it. I'm blue.
You're blue.
I'm blue. In collaboration with Longchamp, I don't know who Longchamp is, but they're collaborating. Niantic
Who's
and
Longchamp?
are.
We're going to find out who Longchamp is. Keep going.
I think they're like designers, but I'm not sure.
There will be a featured event running October 2nd through October 8th. Curlia and Shinx will have top hats and will be in raids. Croagunk with a backwards cap will be in the wild and will be in some photobombs. Smoochum with a bow tie can be hatched out of eggs. And then Shiny Kricketot will be available. And then there will be some special research to go along with that as well, or just special research in general. And then during the event, so the 2nd through the 8th, there'll be increased spawns of Mareep, Skitty, Roselia, Blitzel, Cottony, Minchino, and Gothita. So, I did my segment.
Finish it off, Sigma.
Until September 30th, Jesse and James balloons will appear more frequently. It was originally meant to be a tie-in for Coco. That still hasn't released. And also Battle Knight has been postponed indefinitely because there is no future date given at this time.
Battle Knight for what? Go?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was some kind of Battle Knight they were promoting for sometime this month, or like right at the end of this month. I don't really know all the details. It didn't happen.
Okay. So you want to know what Longchamp is, and it's completely understandable why none of us, like the three of us, don't know what Longchamp is.
Yes, please explain.
It is Longchamp is a store that is all about selling like women's purses and bags.
Makes much more sense now. Okay.
So yeah, right. So it's like a bunch of leather stuff. I mean, that's the way I'll put it. But like, yeah, Longchamp is a French luxury leather goods company founded in Paris in 1948.
Interesting.
I guess they technically do wallets, but
I don't know the market correlation between Pokemon Go players and Longchamp shoppers.
Yes,
but
it doesn't matter. Pokemon Go makes billions of dollars a year. Like, people are happy to collaborate with them. It's fine. They made money. That's all that's important.
That's a good place to end this, though. So we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna kick it on over to we're gonna quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge. And welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge. Today, P Mcgee and R.Sigma will be operating together as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions from our Discord in a race with their fellow co-host to see who can get 30 points first. I don't think either of you are. Well, actually,
I'm relatively.
Actually, never mind.
It's not in striking distance.
You both can take
distance.
first and second today if you do really well.
Yes, I am 2 perfect games away from winning. 2 very perfect games.
So you guys can get a maximum total of 8 points today, but to get that wonderful $20 credit to PokemonCenter.com. And you, the listener, can get a $20 credit to AnimeGravy.com for submitting your trivia questions and having them read on the show if you live in the domestic United States. Well, I should say domestic. Anywhere in the United States. Anywhere USPS delivers for not a lot of money. So that is where you get $20 credit to AnimeGravy.com, your one-stop shop for all of your nerdy needs. All right. So without further ado, let's get into these questions, guys, to see how many points you can get today. So our first question today is going to be from Sleeve McDykel. What is the name of the professor that Ash and the gang meet in the Orange Islands?
Ivy.
Ding, ding, ding. I don't... Liger. It puts the questions together. Come on, guys.
To be fair, I'm not sure if Whimsicott would have gotten that one.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Professor Ivy. In the English dub, Professor Ivy is the only professor in the main series regions to not be named after a tree. Fun fact. It was because that was before any other professor not named Oak existed.
It was because it was before a pattern existed.
Yes. You can't get a trend line from a single data point, okay? All right, so our next question is, you guys are 1 for 1, by the way, in case you didn't notice. Oh my gosh, do you want easy mode? I can go easy mode. Okay, this one is from a 3 Mac Attack. Actually, we're gonna go with the one from Bam. I like the one from Bam.
Bam.
Bye.
What is the only fully evolved Pokemon that can be caught in game at level 100?
Oh,
I feel like it's Gyarados, but
I don't even know what you can catch at level 100. I feel like you can catch a level 90 Magikarp, but can you catch a level 100
You can catch
Gyarados?
level 100 Magikarps too, but I think there might be a level 100 Gyarados in the same ponds, so...
I have no other direction to go other than to trust you completely, so I am going to agree.
Yeah, I know level 100 Magikarps, so 100 Gyarados seems plausible, I guess.
Gyarados is correct.
Yay.
This can be done at the nature reserve in Black and White 2 while fishing and ripping water with the Super Rod.
Cool.
The levels it can be caught are levels 1 to 100. You can also do level 100 Magikarps from the same thing. But yes, you are 2 for 2.
That's what I figured. It's like, I guess Gyarados is probably the closest thing.
This question is your Pokedex question. I'm going to read you a Pokedex entry, and you have to tell me what that Pokemon is. If you ride the struggle bus too hard, you will get a second Pokedex entry from Thatch at the time of his choosing. If you can get the answer correct without the second Pokedex entry, you get 2 points. If you can get it correct with the second entry, it's 1 point. If you don't get it correct, it's a big fat 0. This week it is from Coil Builder, and he says, its sword dex entry states, it bounces towards opponents and gouges them with poisonous claws. No more than a scratch is needed to knock out its adversaries. Who's that Pokemon?
You said bouncing, and I thought it might be a Azurill, and then you said it has claws. Suddenly I didn't know anymore.
Bounces.
Azumarill. Azumarill comes at you with its claws.
No, it's not even a Azumarill. Just a Azumarill.
Azumarill, man, it doesn't even have arms.
Azurill's the bouncer.
Is bounces. What bounces at you?
Right?
With claws. I think cute things of bouncing, those don't combine well in my head.
No, I think we need the second hit.
Yeah.
All right, the second hint. Its Pearl Dex entry states, the toxin made from its poison sacs is pumped to its knuckle claws through the tubes down its arms.
I'm thinking Krogunk, maybe?
That seems much more plausible.
Or not Krogunk, but Toxicroak, because, that actually has claws, unlike Krogunk.
I 100% trust you, because there weren't a lot of
poisons. I don't, but that's what comes to mind in bouncing and
I'm being carried.
Claws.
I'm going to stick with the carry. I'm going to hop in your backpack, and we're going to go with Toxicroak.
Toxicroak is correct. It bounces towards opponents and gouges them with poisonous claws.
It is a frog.
It is a ribbit. Yeah. All right, you guys are 3 for 3, so that means you get you don't get as many points on this question. Okay, I guess I'll ask you. Oh, actually, this is the only time I can probably ask this question. P. Mcgee, just stay in your backpack real quick.
Perfect.
So, this one is from Shark Finnegan, and it says, Pokemon Masters introduced Signa suits, which are outfits designed to match the appearance of their partner Pokemon to help strengthen their bond. As of the first anniversary update, who are the 7 trainers with Signa suits? There are 7 answers. I will give you a point for 2. So if you can answer...
so Red Leaf Blue. Cynthia.
Red Leaf Blue, that's correct.
Cynthia, Grimsley, Brock, and Alessa.
Those are all correct.
Thanks, Sigma.
So Liger always leaves me little notes on each of the questions. Sometimes they're snarky, kind of like P. Mcgee's news. But this one says, apparently Sigma, Sublime, and Shamu still play, so it's here for Sigma. He says 3 of you still play, but this is a Sigma question.
To be fair, 4 of those were in the last month. Or 3 of them were.
Shark Finnegan has made it his mission to get Pokemon Masters trivia on the show. So I will give you 2 points for that. That is correct. So you guys are 5 for 4. You still haven't used your hint today, so you can get all the questions correct still and cash it in. So this is your base stat question. Your base stat question this time is going to be from Poliwo, and it's a normal thing, which is wonderful. What normal type has the highest base defense?
Highest base defense. Bulky normal. There's not a lot of... It wouldn't be Mega Adino, would it?
I don't know. I don't think so. Slacking is probably in the running.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a hint.
We'll probably need to use the hint in a minute. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Defensively.
Because it's not Mega Lopunny, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's Mega Lopunny. I'm pretty confident about that. Obviously not Snorlax. He's specially defensive. I don't think it's a very high stat. I think it's 110 to 120-ish.
Yeah, I don't see it being a high stat.
So
it's definitely not the Blissey line.
Yep. I think we take the hint.
Yeah.
This is a Mega Pokemon.
Hey!
So I guess it's Audino.
Mega Audino is correct.
I contributed.
Mega Audino wins with a base defense of 126. Next up is Arceus at 120. Regigigas at 110. And Miltank at 105.
They got the HP, they got the special defense. They do not have the defense.
All right. That gives you guys, I think 6 this week, right?
6.
Yeah. All right. So that's 6 points for you guys. That does shake up the leaderboard. We got, that number there, and we got that number there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna reorganize that real quick. In first place, we have Sigma with 25 points.
Whoa.
Yeah.
In second, we have Claude9 with 22 points.
Uh-oh.
In third place, we have P. Mcgee with 20 points. Woo. In fourth place, we have Linian with 19. I think this is the most number of people we've ever had that close together, that high up before.
I can believe it.
In fifth place, we have Whimsicott with 13. In sixth, we have Seth Vilo with 12. In seventh, we have a tie between Jushiro and Dr. Shamu with 6. And bringing up the rear, we have a tie between Sublime and Basket for 9th with 5. Tune in next week with Whimsicott asking questions, I guess. Who should add numbers to herself when people do it, but I didn't count when she did it the last time. So. But that is going to be it for this week's episode, or part of Poke Quiz. We're going to take a short break and kick it back over to you guys with the topic. We've got another iTunes review this week from NYJets42. Just started listening to this, but I'm already in love with this podcast. Loving each and every one of the segments, and I'm learning a lot about something I thought I already knew a lot about already. Wanted to get back into the competitive scene. This is also really helpful. Keep going and being awesome. Well, thank you for that. If you would like to leave us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, we would really appreciate it. It helps more people find the show, helps us just grow and become a better community. But we're going to kick things on over to the topic. And welcome to the topic. Our topic today is Crowned Tundra. What is it gonna be? I don't know. I just realized when we were like getting ready for this, Isle of Armor got this really cool like poster looking art type deal.
Yeah.
They had like Urshifu in the back and everything, and it looked really, really cool and really, really hype. And they've got the same thing for Crowned Tundra already. It looks really good. They need to sell these. Like, I would buy that so hard. I already buy fan art. Why can't I just buy that art? I think the Isle of Armor one actually looks better than the Crowned Tundra one, but I'm also just a big... I think the Galarian birds are really cool.
They are.
I am so excited for the birds.
They're very solid.
I feel a little bad for Moltres. I just don't know what Moltres is going to do.
It gets Dark Pulse as a signature move. Like, could they not have given it a better attack?
So Pokemon, at least in like the fandom, is always like very biased towards like fire types. Looking at you, Charizard. Especially Gen 1 fire types are just like, oh man, because like I remember being a kid, everybody's like, Moltres is so cool, it's a firebird. And it's like, yeah, but Articuno is really cool, and Articuno is going to be the one that steals the show here, okay?
And then Stealth Rock was introduced.
Well, it's not going to be that much of a problem now with it being Psychic Ice, so that's kind of nice.
Psychic Flying.
Is it psychic?
Yeah.
Is it psychic flying? Is that how that's working?
They keep the flying types, they change their other types.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm a dummy.
Takes the same damage from Stealth Rock either way.
So Moltres, wait, what's Moltres then? Dark Flying? I got this wrong
Dark
then.
Flying.
My
It
whole
is a
world was
Dark
flipped
Flying.
upside
It
down.
is Evoltol with Dark Pulse as a signature move.
And then we get Fighting Flying. That, oh my gosh, that's even better than I thought it would be.
It's Halucha.
Yeah. Defiant, Fighting, Flying, he's going to be great.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Man, I had all the types wrong, and I also like the types that they chose, because it's just like another circle.
Yeah.
This is great. I love it. Oh my gosh. I like this even... Oh, man, Thatch has been so wrong. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy about this. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it even more. I'm still upset we don't have, like, Galarian Slowking.
I just want to know what it looks like. Like, I'm curious what it's going to do, because, like, Galarian Slowbro, like, for all its weirdness, isn't that, like, awful. I mean, it's got its, like, own little niche as this bulky thing that just keeps going fast. Like, I was playing a game of Natdex today, and I got obliterated by a Slowbro that just kept going first, and I couldn't do anything about it. And it was weird.
Dude, it goes first a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is. Is it, like, 1 in 4?
Isn't it
Is that
30?
what
I
it's
think
supposed
it's
to be?
just over 40% or something.
I thought it was the 1/3 or something like that. Or like 30%.
Yeah, but if you have a Quick Claw, then it compounds it a little bit.
Oh
so
my
it's like
gosh, that's crazy.
40-ish%.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I like what they did with
1/3
Slowbro
alone
because
is crazy priority. Like, that's like, if you think 30% or 1/3, like, that's how often Scald burns.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Scald always burns.
Yeah.
Slowbro always goes first.
If you do the math on Scald, like, no joke, the probability of burning your opponent after 2 Scalds is more likely than if you were to not burn them after 2 Scalds.
Yes.
Fun fact. Like, it's just 70% times 70%, and that comes out to 0.49, or it comes out to 49% chance of not getting burned after 2 Skulls. It's horrible. I do think Crowned Tundra is probably more exciting in terms of, like, new Pokemon, though. I liked Isle of Armor for what it was. Isle of Armor gives me hope.
Yes.
Because Isle of Armor gives me hope for, like, future stuff after Crowned Tundra. Like, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, all we got is boring Pokemon left over from, like, the Pokemon that are missing. Because we know the Pokemon that are in Crowned Tundra. I don't want to, like, full on spoil them, but we know the roster that's coming back. And it's like, man, all we got are, like, we don't have any, like, the cool Pokemon, because, like, most of the pseudo legendaries are coming back, if not all of them, I think.
I
think all of them that are missing are coming back. I'm like, man, we're not gonna have any cool Pokemon. And I was thinking about, I'm like, well, what actually came back in Isle of Armor? And I'm just like, I guess Scizor came back.
Yes.
Scolopede's cool.
Scolopede's there.
I was like, huh. So nothing like really that amazing. I'm like, cool, we still have Ampharos and Houndoom. Those guys need to come back.
Gliscor. Oh, Gliscor.
Gliscor's the big one that gets people sad.
Half the starters. It's fine.
Greninja, for no explainable reason, is not in this game.
I can explain if you really want that answer.
No.
I'll tell you why Greninja's not back, and it's probably one because I think we might give Cinderace a lot of flack for like Libero and it being like stupid and over centralizing, which it is.
Yeah.
I think that ability in general is a stupid ability to give any Pokemon.
I mean, it got it kicked out of the official meta of like VGC, BSS, and then it also got it kicked out of Smogon. So you're not wrong.
I think Cinderace is a much more balanced version of that than Greninja was.
Yes.
Because Greninja has way better coverage than Cinderace.
It had coverage and it had mixed stats, so it could do either.
It could do both. Cinderace has not that. On top of that, we have this weird oddity called Ash Greninja that should never have made it to the video game. That was a huge mistake, in my opinion. Could you imagine if like that made it back? And like, let's say it got VGC legal somehow because reasons. You do a meta where like Megas come back and Primals are allowed. You could theoretically have a VGC team that is Ash Greninja plus a Mega plus 2 Primals plus a Lele. Because Lele. And like, yeah, that would be stupid. That's absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I hate it a lot. I hate the idea that Primals might come back. Like,
yeah.
I don't expect them.
I don't expect it. I don't expect them to come back since Megas are gone, but
like, I'm not expecting Megas until whatever the next game is, if they come back, which I think they will.
I don't know. Like the way I see it, because I don't remember what the official number is. We'll talk more about it once Crowned Tundra release. The number of Pokemon you're missing at a certain point, I think, and this is just speculation beyond Crowned Tundra, and I apologize in advance because I sound like a broken record because like this is just Thatch being very hopeful. But I think if you look at it, it's only like it's just over 200. I think we'll be missing.
Yeah, that's 2 more pieces of DLC.
Part of me is just like, how much harder would it be to like throw in another 50? You know?
Yeah.
And that extra 50 is just Megas. You know what? You give Urshifu a Mega, okay? And everybody's happy.
Is everyone happy?
Yeah.
I don't think Urshifu needs a Mega.
He absolutely does not. Urshifu is like, I love Urshifu from like a technical standpoint. Like it's really bad. Like I look at Urshifu like old men look at their muscle cars.
It's like just fast enough to be a decent speed without being oppressively
Under
fast.
the hood, he is the most engineered Pokemon that I've ever witnessed. Like, they designed him with such purpose.
They don't like stall at all, and they want to break all the wall breakers.
I don't disagree with them. Like, Urshifu's gonna be the reason, like, Celesteela probably doesn't rock it in VGC. I think Urshifu will stop Celesteela from being a menace.
I don't know. I could see weakness policy, max airstream Celesteela just doing what it does.
I'm afraid of offensive Celesteela.
Offensive Celesteela is semi-scary, yes.
Its best stat is special attack. I think that gets forgotten a lot. Its special attack is its best stat.
It's its best stat by, like, how many points?
Like 3. 2,
Yeah, right?
something. It's just like a pile of 100s and then like a lackluster speed stat.
It's like a 60 and 2 stats, I thought. Let me take a look.
Maybe HP.
Yeah, it might be
both
HP.
defenses are
Maybe
high,
attack.
both offensives are high.
No, because its attack wasn't terrible.
I thought it was like 97 HP and then
We're
like
gonna look it
all
up.
like
We're looking
that's
at it.
fine. Let's find Celesteela out.
97 HP, 101 attack, 103 defense, 107 special attack, 101 special defense, and 61 speed. No, we were wrong.
A pile of 100s.
It's a pile of 100s and then a 61 speed. None of this is bad, by the way. Like, 61 speed isn't bad anymore. Like,
And it has Automize, so it's not even really a concern.
I am legitimately scared of Celesteela coming back.
We spoke about Urshifu, so what do you think about Calyrex? Do you think that's going to be any good?
Not in a U-turn meta.
Right?
Like, do I get to spoil it that I think it might be for different reasons?
The Calyrex we know, I am not excited about.
I think that's
I guess the bigger
intentional.
question is,
That's intentional.
I'm just looking at that I'm looking at everything Celebi could have been, and like Celebi's just like not much. And so like that doesn't excite me. The type combination does not excite me. If there's other factors at play, fine, but that type combination does not excite me.
My favorite Celebi memory is, so like I haven't played in Draft League in a long time, mostly because like I like giving up my spot in Draft League to like an actual person in the community, and then it gives me time to not do Draft League, which is probably great. I did play in like the first season of Draft League, and I had Celebi, and I remember playing Scrawn. It was like Scrawn and me, and it was a 1-0 because what had happened was he had toxic my Celebi, and I had like something else in the back that I could sack, and he had Choice Scarf and Primate. it came down to my Celebi, his Primeape, and something else. And I was like, well, Celebi technically lives a hit if Toxic doesn't kill it. I wish we could just like switch out and like do that. And then I was just like, oh, wait a second. Celebi has Natural Cure.
Yes.
And I was just like, cool. So I just switched it out, sacked whatever I had in the back, and Celebi came out, and like I just swept and won the game. That's my favorite Celebi memory, is it had Natural Cure.
If only grass were a better type.
I remember Celebi as a kid. Like, I don't know. It's also more, this is what we were talking about like at the beginning of the show with like the lore type deal. And like just being like, oh, Celebi's really cool.
Well, to be fair, when Celebi released, bug type moves barely existed. So.
That is so true.
Bug types moves were not a threat until Gen 4.
I agree with that. I also just miss like the time of Nintendo Power. Like every month getting some kind of news, like news in quotes about Pokemon up to its release. It would just be like, here's like one little feature that we wrote 5 pages about. Here's a picture of a Pikachu. And I would eat that up every month. I miss Nintendo Power. Fun fact, I did find there's some guys who do like a spiritual successor to it on Patreon.
I think I heard about it.
I've been meaning to do it because it's only like $5 a month and they'll send you a print copy.
Ooh. Okay,
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And I kind of want to do it. The only thing that I think will be wrong is they won't have like pictures on the spines, so you can't like line them up. Which is going to be a problem.
Probably not. Probably.
But yeah, I don't know about Calyrex. I feel like, I don't know, Calyrex is going to be, current form Calyrex is going to be bad. And I don't want to spoil more for you guys from the leaks. I feel really bad if I don't mind spoiling the Pokedex, but I mind spoiling some of the things like that. Like, I'll tell you that Nidoking's back. I don't care.
Well, I think we knew that anyway. They showed us Nidorino.
Yeah, no, we know. Let me get the list that we like know. I think I searched Celesteela over my
like there's Magmar and Delectabuzz, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. Crowned Tundra, I would say, in terms of like Pokemon that are coming back, is a heavy hitter.
Well, yeah, because it's like all the pseudos. They've guaranteed 2.
I'm going to go over this just so like, because we've never said it explicitly on the show, but I want people to know. So the Pokemon that are coming back, and you can be as disappointed and as happy as you want to be. Nidoqueen line, Nidoking line, cool. Zubat line, very cool. I'm actually surprised they didn't make it into Main Swish, by the way.
I was going to say, people meme on Zubat all the time. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
I think Zubat not being in the game is a travesty. Jinx is back. You also have Electabuzz line, Magmar line. Now, this is where things get interesting, okay? You've got Ammonite, Kabutops, Aerodactyl. You've got the legendary birds. Dragonite's coming back. You have Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Lugia, Ho-Oh. We all know that. You've got the Hoenn starters. I will spare you the suspense and tell you no other starters are there, so you're still missing 4 out of 8.
You got 50%.
Which again makes me think like something else is happening. Like you don't put in more starters and be like, yeah, that's enough. Starters are like the thing where you're just like, yeah, these are the Pokemon that are going to be people's first. Like in my opinion, that would be like, this is my priority to put in the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm just like, this is weird. But it kind of feels like they're filling out like the Gen 3 decks. I don't know what is left not here from Gen 3 other than like Seviper and Zangoose after this.
But no, Metacham's one of the big ones missing from
Gen 3, Medicham is missing. Yeah.
Metacham people like. Slacking's missing. So
Slacking is missing. That is true. You have Aggron, you have Altaria, Lilip, Anorith, Absol. I didn't realize Absol wasn't in Main Swish.
It's really forgettable without its Mega, and it's
forgettable with its Mega,
so.
Then you have Walrein. Relicanth is coming back because we can't have Regis without that. I hope there's a callback to that.
There's got to be if they're adding Relicanth.
Yeah, right. I hope there's a callback. I mean, there's not a lot of Gen 3 missing. I don't feel like Tropius is missing and like Medicham. Oh, Camerupt.
Plus,
okay, there's a lot of it.
There's
a lot. Never mind.
Too. Cacnea, the superior cactus. It's fine.
Yep. And then we've also got Salamence coming. You've got Metagross coming. Regis, Latios, Weather Trio. Jirachi and Deoxys are missing. Jirachi's already in the game, but Deoxys is not. Deoxys is not in this.
Deoxys has multiple forms, so it's not in
Yeah, I think people don't understand. Yeah, if you look at this list, it's mostly Pokemon that don't have multiple forms. Gen 4 absolutely gets the shaft, by the way, in terms of Pokemon.
I mean, you say that, but you already read Gen 2 was just the dogs and Ho-Oh and Lugia. So.
Yeah, that's true. But I would argue a lot of them got in from... a lot of those are tied to Kanto Pokemon as well.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And I would say some of the Gen 4 Pokemon, some of the bigger ones are there, but in terms of just like regular Gen 4 Pokemon, I think we've got like Roserade. That's not even regular, I would say, but you've got Roserade, you've got Luxray that came in Isle of Armor, and yeah.
Gen 4, you're not really missing anything, though, because it's like,
yeah,
no one sadly cares about Wormadam. No
okay, but I care about it like some of the... Vespiquen made it in. If what Vespiquen made it in...
Because Vespiquen doesn't have multiple forms.
God.
Buizel is a shock, though. Buizel is an actual
right?
shock.
Only Spiritomb, the Garchomp line, and the Legendaries from Gen 4 made it. In terms of the Mythicals that made it, none of them made it. No Darkrai, no Shaman, no Arceus.
No Manaphy.
No Manaphy, yeah. Yeah, it's awful. Like, I understand Shaman because of the multiple forms. I wouldn't even say Arceus is multiple forms, though. It's like different palettes.
I wouldn't say it's multiple forms, but I feel like if they ever did it, because they're doing weird things with their meta, if they ever did a 2-month meta where Mythicals were allowed, Arceus just isn't okay to have.
Yeah.
Like, they can't do that if Arceus is in the meta, right?
So I would also like to note that the things you've heard me say so far are Omastar and Kabutops, Cradalily and Anorith. But you did not hear me say Bastiodon and Rampardos, because they are not coming back.
Because they're the worst fossils. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, your reasoning is so wrong. We have this conversation all the time, Sigma.
Have you ever seen them do a thing?
Okay, but you don't not bring them back and then bring back Caracosta and Archon. Like you don't do that. Like Victini and Audino are also coming back. We skipped those.
They are the next worst fossils. You are not wrong.
We're getting Aurorus and Tyrantrum.
Those are good fossils, though.
Auroras can do things. Auroras can at least set
Tyrantrum's
hail.
cool.
Not with Bullet Punch.
Sure. I mean, everything kills it, but it can set hail.
Tyrantrum has Rockhead Dragon Dance. That's fun.
That is fun.
Cryogonal's coming back. Genesect makes it, which is kind of cool. Not Meloetta and not...
Multiple forms.
Well, Keldio's already in.
Yeah.
Keldeo is actually going to be... Well, we won't... Keldeo should be catchable at some point, I believe.
I think he gets demythicalized, yeah, probably. And then we also get, in Gen 6, outside of the fossils, we get Carbink, because Deontay's back. You also get Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde. You don't get Hoopa, but you get Volcanion. Hoopa's got 2 forms, though.
Forms.
Gen 7 only gives you Legendaries and Ultra Beasts.
Because a lot of Gen 7's already in. Like...
Yeah. Magearna's already in. Marshallow's already in, and Zeraora, actually. All of the mythicals from Gen 7 are already in. I think almost everything. I think we're missing like Yungoos and Toucannon. And Bruxish.
I mean, Minior's missing, but you know.
Bruxish?
We're missing
Sacrifices need to be made.
Bruxish is the Pokemon.
It has a cool ability.
Like, there's a few Pokemon here and there that are always missing. The thing that really upsets me is like it's a lot of regional birds that are missing. Because it's just like, just pepper those in, you know?
I feel like Toucannon could be okay in like a Dynamax meta. It could have a chance.
Dude.
It's still a Toucannon.
Dynamax Toucannon would be awesome to think about.
It fixes like its worst problem, which is that it's on a lowland time with all the other Pokemon there. And
Yeah.
It has just a pure garbage speed stat. Like it's just, you can't do anything with that. It's got an okay move.
I think we have half of the regional birds anyway now. We have 50% of the regional birds. No, but we have 50% of them.
Like, there's no Pidgeot, which is weird.
We have the same proportion of regional birds that we do starters.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Like we have the regional, we have just as many.
They skipped a lot of 3 lines for those birds, too.
Yeah.
Which, if models are to be believed as an excuse, then yeah, that makes sense.
I believe models as an excuse, 100%.
Like, yeah.
I believe it, especially after this, because they intentionally skipped over Pokemon with multiple forms.
Mm-hmm.
They intentionally did it.
And there could still be things that we don't know that will show up. Like, Magearna wasn't on the list originally, but it showed up in Isle of Armor.
Yeah, because Magearna made it in with Isle of Armor, but it was the only one.
Yeah, but it wasn't on the list, though. And that's what's interesting. So maybe Manaphy shows up, or Darkrai or something.
Oh, yeah, I guess this is just the Pokemon that get Dex entries, which is kind of weird to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was just like, these were erased Dex entries and not just blank ones or something like that. It's weird.
Like you could tell it was deleted instead of left blank.
Interested to see what's going on there. I mean, we do get new Pokemon too. Like that's 119 Pokemon though that they put back in.
We're getting
which
a
is
lot.
way bigger than Isle of Armor. Like Isle of Armor was just like, yes, 100.
We hit the number.
We told you 100. We hit
This
100.
one exercises the plus portion of the number.
Yes.
Like we actually get to go past the 100, which is good. I'm excited for it.
I'm happy that we got to go past 100. Like, because that's what I expected from both of them was about 119. Maybe, together I expected like 219, 220 between the two of them.
It's a solid number. It's a good number between them. I'm sure you guys already talked about this while I was having connection issues. The power creep that's coming with this is like going to be really interesting for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, like legendaries rule the meta. Like that's just what they do.
And so I'm excited to see what actually is good in Gen 8 and what survives.
So what I really like about what they're doing so far is that the meta is always different and it makes you build properly. And like I honestly think that Series 6 VGC has been the most balanced VGC in a very long time.
Oh yeah.
It feels very nice.
It feels really good.
It's like, oh no, the best Pokemon's Amoonguss.
Yeah.
Oh, if only there were an item that stopped Amoonguss.
It feels very balanced and I really like it. I don't think that's even because Dynamax exists. Like without Dynamax and Gigantamax, I think you still have that balanced meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun meta.
I think they're doing a really, really good job with the meta.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the way that they're doing it by adding the new Pokemon in. Well, the old Pokemon, the old new Pokemon in?
Yeah.
Or the new old Pokemon?
Like, I like the trickle. The trickle feels really nice.
Yes. The trickle is really nice, and it really feels like TCG rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really okay with that.
It keeps things fresh in like a less like forced way.
Yeah, and it keeps the Pokemon game fresh, too. Like, I like being able to go back to the game every, like, 3 or 4 months because there's something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping. Like when Crowned Tundra drops, we get like some kind of trailer for like more DLC. You know,
Mm.
And, like it's just like, hey, we're gonna keep doing this because it did really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 months might be too short for like rules periods. Like maybe it should be 3 months, but
Yeah, 2 months is probably the minimum I would go. Like I wouldn't do a month.
2 months seems too short to let anything settle. I think
I'm
like, doing
okay
it in
with nothing
quarters is
settling,
probably
though.
better.
It's when things settle is when things get stale.
So when we get Ultra Series.
Let's not talk Ultra Series. No, I think the vigorous answer is that's when you get like VGC 2016. Because VGC 2016 got stale
Ultra
real
Series.
quick.
It's like, yes, Groudon is just the best thing to do, or it's Kyogre.
But I think this is really cool where, one, I think it really tests like the person's ability to play the game. Because like there used to be VGC metas where you could play the same game for the same team for the whole year and be successful.
Yeah.
And now that's probably impossible.
It's been great that like we can only play for a couple months and you have to change your team. Like at most you get like 1 or 2 months and your team becomes invalidated because new strategies arise because people have to adapt to what's been banned, what's not been banned, and then
I think that really shows your mettle as a Pokemon player. Like if you're going to be top tier all of the time with that.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that I don't know. I don't want to say I took pride in it, but it was something that I noticed helped me a lot. Like when I was doing all of the metas at once for like a very short period, there was like a hot minute where like I was decent at VGC and I was decent at OU and I was decent at like Battle Stadium singles equivalent.
It's tough. I'm doing poorly in VGC right now because I'm trying to make Smogon work because it's just hard to do them all at once.
Well, like when I was doing them, like I appreciated the fact that I could because each one of them, they were each different in their own way, but it allowed me to become a better player because of it. Because I wasn't stuck in like one strat or one team that I was really hooked on for 6 months. It forced me to think outside the box and think about things differently because they're different. Like different metas are different ways of thinking. Somebody asked that in the Discord today, and so that was my answer. Because they're just like, oh, what's easier, VGC or Battle Stadium singles or OU? I'm like, they're all just different.
It's whatever kind of game you want to play that day. What experience? Do you want to play 40? Do you want to play 40 turns? You go play a Smogon one. Do you want to play 5 turns? You play VGC. Do you want to play like 10 to 12 turns? That's when you go to BSS. So it's how much time you want to put in.
Yes. And it's not even like how much time do you want to put in. It's just like what kind of thought process, like what kind of puzzle do you feel like playing? I feel like the mind games in VGC I feel like they don't exist as much as they did in OU. There's definitely still mind games.
One day we'll fix Ally Switch, and it'll be better.
I think switching in OU is like the one pro of not being able to play OU on cart. I miss it because I like having the ability to play like traditional 66 on cart.
Yeah.
Because it's like the ultimate Pokemon experience, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I really appreciate not being able to do that is that the games are just so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like so much like, there's not as much like, oh, should I switch here or should I not switch type
You
stuff.
pretty much don't switch much in either format that's on cart right now.
You don't jog for position as much as you did, but I mean soon. But on that note, I think this is a good place to stop, unless we want to talk about Regigigas and how it was invisible, and you think there's a Galarian for some reason, Sigma.
Well, there's 2 more golems and only 6 eyes.
Maybe there's one more golem, one eye each.
No, they would have told us. No, we would have known about it. We would have known about it.
Who was it? Someone suggested like some kind of weird staff with like a dragon's head on it.
I find it really odd that we have these golems of like rock, ice, and steel, which are just like things you can make pillars out of, which is the whole idea behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the other 2 are just like, let's go wacky with dragon and electric.
I've heard people try to say that they're based on like the ages of history or something like that.
The
Stone Age,
the
the
Stone
Ice Age,
the
Iron Age, I guess.
the Industrial Age,
And then you have like
that. Yeah.
the medieval era and the Enlightenment or something, with with the Regieleki.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either. I don't subscribe, but you know.
What types would be wacky? And then they just did it.
I'm excited to see if electric stat spread is busted.
The thing I'm not excited about is if they don't allow like box art legends, but they allow the regular legends back in.
Mm-hmm.
Regigigas is like in that.
Right.
You know who else is a Pokemon? Weezing. Galarian Weezing.
It doesn't work with every ability. It could be, that could be one of the ones it doesn't work with.
I think that's probably why Slaking's missing.
Regigigas deserves being fixed, though. Like, even if they cut it down to like 3 turns instead of 5 or something.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
like,
so useless.
It's just
right
so
now.
bad. It's never.
I'm hoping
usable.
Beast Boost gets nerfed.
Right. Beast Boost nerfing would be great.
Archeops can be okay now. Kind of, with Galarian Weezing.
Okay, we're done. We're done before we start coming up with more bad ideas. All right, that is it for the topic. We are gonna go ahead, take a short break, and we'll be right back at you with the Pokemon of the episode. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
And welcome to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 858, Hatterene, the Silent Pokemon.
Its Pokemon Shield Gigantamax entry reads, beams of lightning shoot down from its tentacles. It's known to some as the Raging Goddess.
Okay, so like time out real quick. So it's called the Silent Pokemon, but like the entire gimmick of its evolutionary line is that it wears hats.
Yes.
And so they decided, silent, yeah, that's what we think it is. Hatterene is the serene Pokemon, and Hatenna is the calm Pokemon. I do not like this. That's dumb. Thanks, Pokemon. Hatterene is okay. It's got a base HP of 57, base attack of 90. That is surprisingly high.
Yes. And it can run Swords Dance and Power Whip.
It is a Trick Room Pokemon.
Base defense of 95, base special attack of 136, base special defense of 103. Those are defense stats.
Yes.
And then base speed of 29, making it a Trick Room Pokemon. In most cases. With its Psychic Fairy typing. It is only weak to 3 types. Oh, good for it. All right, but let's jump into this. This is from Greel, actually, who is on the Discord server. So thank you to that. Is this the team that he used, or is this just Series 6? A Series 6 team of his?
Series 6.
He used it in
Series
Series 6.
Okay, so
Like day 1, but Series 6.
Greel's awesome. So this is also for BSS, right? BSS,
Yep.
not VGC. All right, we didn't talk about which Pokemon we're taking, so I'm just going to go, and then you guys can grab onto things. I'm going to take the easy stuff.
Sure.
So we've got Hatterene, who is the G-Max form, because it can be, with Life Orb, the ability Healer. It's got 252 HP, 252 special attack, because you're not going to go fast because you're Hatterene, and you have Trick Room anyway. It's rocking Misty Explosion, Psychic, Mystical Fire, and that Trick Room. And it's got a 30 in speed, I assume just so it can outrun other Hatterene and Trick Room.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Before Trick Room? I'm not sure.
It'll set his Trick Room afterwards, but it'll go, like, if it's in Trick Room with another Hatterene who has max speed, it'll go first. I don't know why you'd want 30. Wouldn't you want 0?
Yeah, I don't know what the 30's for.
Maybe not speed's Ferrothorn.
Well, Ferrothorn doesn't even deal you damage with its Gyro Ball because you're so slow.
That's true. That's true.
So it's not really a threat.
I don't know. He will have to yell
He
at
knows.
me and
Yeah.
tell me what it actually is for.
Notably, it's got the ability Healer, probably capitalizing on everyone assuming that it's Magic Bounce so they can't taunt it.
Yes. Absolutely. And then I'll take another easy one, and I'm going to go with Lycanroc Dusk. Because it's a Lycanroc Dusk, and that's all it is now. They didn't all have Accelerock, right? Until this gen.
To be fair, the one still doesn't.
Only Knight has never had it.
Knight's not had it. Okay, I'm just dumb. Because it was never good, and so nobody ever used it.
Dusk is like the combination of the two, so it has both signature moves of Accelerock and Counter.
So it's got Focus Sash, Tough Claws, 252 attack, 252 speed, Jolly, and it's got Accelerock, Close Combat, which it got this gen, right?
I believe so,
That
yeah.
seems accurate.
Okay, Counter and Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock, probably because you have 4 move slots.
Close Combat stronger than Stone Edge because Tough Claws boost.
Yes. All right, I'll let whoever wants to take more things go.
Sure, I can go. I'll do our choice mons. We've got Urshifu Rapid Strike with a Choice Band, 252 attack, 252 speed, Jolly Nature, and then Close Combat, Surging Strikes, Thunder Punch, Aqua Jet. Basically, just a pretty standard Rapid Strike Urshifu, just breaking all the things it normally does. Literally no surprises. Also, having no surprises is Dracozolt with a Choice Scarf, Hustle, 252 attack, 252 speed, Bolt Bake, Outreach, Low Kick, Aerial Ace. So these are kind of just your wall breakers. Things are going to tear things apart.
Why Low Kick? I don't know if I like Low Kick.
When you go big, you get a boosted attack.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my personal playstyle.
It's the filler move.
I feel like there's something that breaks nicely with Low Kick.
There's got to be something. Because, like, for me, I'm thinking, like, in that slot, I'd much rather have, like, either high horsepower or, I don't know, not Low Kick.
Fire attack.
Yeah, like Fire Fang. Like, because I'm more worried about the Ferrothorn, but I guess he's got Hatterene to really deal with the Ferrothorn.
I mean, he's got other ways to kill it. He's got 4 things that can hit it for super effective, and Low Kick still technically does as well. So I guess
That's
he's
true.
not too concerned.
Oh, wow, even his Rhyperior does it. Okay, never mind. Speaking of Rhyperior, Sigma.
All right, next up, we've got a fun Pokemon to use under a Trick Room, with Rhyperior holding that weakness policy. Ability Solid Rock, so you take those super effective hits even better, helping that defense up, boosting your ability to take the hit and activate the weakness policy. So, fun times. Max HP, max attack, a little bit of Spadef with the leftovers, Adamant Nature, Earthquake, Rock Blast to get rid of those ugly substitutes, Fire Punch, and Sword Stance.
That's a Rhyperior.
It's blanket Rhyperior.
This is like the Pokemon that I hate the most in both metas right now.
It's just a solid offensive threat under Dynamax.
Yeah, it's so solid, and like this is the set everybody's running.
It's true. Well, in doubles you run like Rock Slide over Rock Blast, but
No, I meant the Ferrothorn.
Oh. It has Power Whip over Protect.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed.
That is the only thing that he has that's different.
Anyways, yeah, last up we got Ferrothorn holding leftovers with the Iron Barbs ability because no one's running Anticipation Ferrothorn ever. Max HP, max defense, leftovers in special defense, Impish Nature. So we're not 0 speed Ferrothorn because, as I think we alluded to, no Gyro Ball here. We have Power Whip, Body Press, and Iron Defense, and Leech Seed to slowly siphon off the HP of something.
Mm-hmm. That's a Ferrothorn, all right. Minus the Protect, like you said. I do like the tech with the Power Whip.
It gives him some good offensive presence if he needs to smack something.
Mm-hmm.
Because Body Press without any boost doesn't get anywhere.
Absolutely. Yes. So, like, I've used the Ferrothorn set with this, like, Protect, and I used that. I beat a Sylveon.
I remember that.
You were there, Sigma. You saw that. I couldn't believe it.
No Mystical Fire? Like, what happened?
It did have Mystical Fire. It just did.
Yeah.
It was doing like 40%.
Yeah, it did like 30-something%. And so what happened was between the Leech Seed and the leftovers, we were getting enough recovery. And so what happened was we were only up like 1 iron defense, and he was mystical firing us. It might have been just over or just under a third he was doing. It was like a roll, whether it was under or over.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was we like realized that like our best play at one point was like, oh, we got to double protect, you know?
Yeah.
Double protect, get more heal. So it failed the first time. We're just like, oh man, that kind of sucks. But we'll still live it out, right?
Yeah.
And so we went for the double protect again. We got the double protect. It was enough to get the KO with just like Leech Seed.
Stall it out.
I don't feel bad because like that one was odds.
Yeah.
We didn't get a double protect, then we got a double protect. So
yeah. I mean, Ferrothorn is just one of those ones in both metas. Like, if you lose your, like, Arcanine, because Cinderace isn't here right now, Torkoal's not here right now, Venusaur's not here right now, a lot of the things that can break Ferrothorn really well aren't around, so if they die, you kind of just win.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. But if you want to use this team, the code's going to be on the Discord, so check it out. You can try it out in BSS. All right, we are going to kick it on over now, though, to the mailbag.
Send in your emails. Mail!
And welcome to the Mailbag. The Mailbag is the part of the show where we read your emails sent to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com. You can have your email read if you just send us one in time for the show before it comes out, or before it's recorded. Not before it comes out. I shouldn't say before it comes out. Some guy got mad at me once because he sent an email in like an hour before we like released the show. And his like email wasn't on the show. And I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense, right?
That's how recording a podcast goes.
Yeah, like we don't record this live. We record it and then we edit it. We take all the swears out.
Usually it's just Shamu swearing though, so.
It's usually Shamu. I've been really good. I haven't had one in like years, so it's fine.
Usually it's Shamu, and usually it's during a quiz segment.
Yes. Yes. All right, but this segment, as always, is brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves.
And as I guess I'm required to contractually, I have to tell you that if you write an email that makes us talk to each other more than we already do, you can get the Green Tauros badge, which just turns your name green on our Discord server. All you have to do is ask somebody if you want it. So we've got 3 emails for you today. There were more that were sent in, obviously, but if you didn't send it in, we apologize for not reading it. Sometimes they're too long. Sometimes they're too short. Sometimes they don't have paragraphs. All right. So our first email today is going to be from Coil. And last week we asked you what you like in a good Pokemon game, I guess. I don't know. Or what things you're missing. I don't know. People wrote in nice words, and I like to read them. So this one's from Coil.
Yeah. So I've got this one. Hey, Puckle. Coil here. I hope this week is treating you well. I wanted to lend just one point to what I think really makes Pokemon a game for me. I think there are lots of things that really define one of these games. Obviously, cool new Pokemon, fun gym challenges, and maybe even running into that one Mon you saw a sneak peek of and really wanted to use in your playthrough. But for me, there is one thing that stands out above all else. Cave puzzles. This is what really disappointed me in Swish. I don't know why. I thought Galore Mine number 2 was a very exciting cave.
Okay, I was going to make that joke, but I appreciate that you did.
This is what really disappointed me in Swish. One of my favorite things is figuring out these puzzles while at the same time dodging the 900th Zubat. The feeling of finding all the hidden areas, the hidden items, and that using HMs to push stuff around is always a fun time for me. Hashtag bring back caves. Anyways, love you guys. Coil. So, one thing I really liked about Isle of Armor was that whole cave system was kind of neat.
Right?
Where like there was the whole waterway system in there, and some of the forests were a little convoluted. So like, I wasn't like truly lost, but like it was much more confusing than anything that had happened in the last 4 or 5 years. So
yeah.
There was a good like little refresher, because I remember Black 2, White 2 had some pretty solid caves. I remember getting lost all the time as a kid, and just in the early day Pokemon with those caves. So I miss caves.
I wonder how much of it is being a kid. And
yes.
Then like being like, I wonder how much of it is that. But like I go back to those sometimes and I'm just like, yeah, they're not hard, but I can definitely understand it being confusing. Yeah. Because like, especially if you think about like old victory roads and stuff like that. And it's because like you have to maneuver around. You have to move things around. And we just didn't have that. I mean, I agree. This gen, we didn't have really any puzzles like at all.
No.
And I think that's really frustrating. Like, you think about things like the Ruins of Alf and stuff like that. Or, like, I think the way I would describe it is we didn't have dungeons. Not that we didn't have puzzles. We just didn't have dungeons. Because, like, I would even say, like, Silphco is a good dungeon, stuff like that.
I miss those aspects.
We didn't really have it in Sun and Moon either, though, to be fair. Which is also disheartening.
I mean, part of it's the internet age too, but like there was something like really special when your little friend circle found out about the Reggies back in the day.
Yeah,
like,
the Reggies were a big thing.
When you didn't know those existed because it was so hard to figure them out, and then like some friends like, get a Relicanth, get a Wailord, we're gonna go get something, and then like you find that out. Like those kind of puzzles were so exciting, and I agree with that. We haven't seen anything like that in a long time.
Well, Gen 3, I think, well, not even Gen 3, maybe like, I really think the biggest turning point was like when we went to the 3DS, and I don't blame the 3DS for that. Mm-hmm. I blame Black and White. Like I Black and White, because Black and White didn't do as well as other Pokemon games did, and I think that TPCI really noticed that. They like really
stripped it down, went back to basics.
I think they went back to basics, and I mean that's also when the Gen 1 nostalgia like really kicked in. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, if we can't do anything new, we might as well like really ride on this old stuff.
Yeah. And
we've been riding that wave since 2013, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I would love to have caves back. That'd be cool. I'd be into like actual things. I think the Isle of Armor is a really good example. Like that's, if the rest of Swish would have been like the Isle of Armor, I would have zero complaints. I would have zero complaints about the design. Like maybe like lack of puzzles and stuff, but like outside of that, like I think that's a good trade-off for what the Isle of Armor was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I maybe the towers like for Kubfu could have actually had puzzles in them. That would have been cool. But man, other than that, like they had some cool things, like when we chased the Slowpoke. But next email, thanks for that, Coil, is gonna be from, I believe it's Sleeve. And I think Sigma wanted that one.
Yep. Hi, Puckle people. Sleeve here with a response to this week's mailbag question. One of the little things I've always enjoyed with Pokemon games are the puzzle sections. Yeah, they can be infuriating at times, especially when you're trying to clear an area quickly. But they actually make you think, and are kind of a staple to the franchise. Gen 7 and 8 really miss the floor tiles that spin you off in a given direction, and, if I'm being honest, the rendition of this in Gen 6 was easy mode. I personally loved the Rocket Game Corner raid from Red, Blue, and Yellow.
You are the only one.
They kind of added it in Rainbow Rocket in Gen 7.
They tried.
It wasn't as good.
I feel like their challenges now are just like, you have a lot of battles in a row. And it's just like, huh? What? No.
Also, fun fact, if you're playing Red and Blue, you can go and buy a Pokédoll and just skip the game corner. You don't get to catch a Ghastly, but you also don't have to battle the Marowak if you give it a Pokédoll. So, just saying. Another of my favorite puzzle types is teleport floor tiles, like in Sabrina's Gym in Kanto, that either make you systematically try them all in a trial and error process, or look up a guide online if you can't handle the chaos. I just went up or down. I never went near the trail. These sections are something people tend to forget about when talking about Pokemon games that have been present since the very beginning. They also provide a fun break from repeatedly beating up NPC's Pokemon in exchange for your pocket money.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there are too many good puzzle types to talk about all of them in depth here. But here's a few honorable mentions. Fuchsia City Gym's Invisible Walls, the Reggie Cave Braille puzzles, and the Rocket Hideout in Mahogany Town button sequence to open doors. Thanks for keeping the content coming. Look forward to it every week. Sleeve.
They can just rehash the same puzzle. Like, Pokemon is the one franchise that I think is just always evergreen. Like, I don't... Like, everybody's always just like, oh, Pokemon needs to do something different. The franchise is stale. It's like, no, I like that it's stale. Like, I think I used this analogy already, but they're the McDonald's of video games for me, okay? Like, I don't go to McDonald's because I think it's like, it's going to be crazy new menu items. I go to McDonald's because it's consistent, okay? And that's Pokemon to me. It's consistent and it's good. And I think they could just reuse the same puzzles for that without much of an issue. So let's go ahead and get this next one. Thanks for that, Sleeve. This last one today is going to be from Ava. She didn't give us another name to call her by, so I'm calling her Ava. Hey, Puckle crew. I sent an email in last week half knowing you've probably already recorded, but I winged it and it wasn't on time. So hopefully you get this. What makes a Pokemon game a Pokemon game, you ask? I think some of the NPCs and the innuendos used play a big role. For example, the old man watching girls in the gym. I feel like a lot of these things that people ask for are like very rose-colored glasses.
I remember the Heart Gold Soul Silver couple trainer that had a Cloyster and an Onyx.
Yes, or the couple in Heart Gold Soul Silver who had an Oyster and a Onyx and a Cloyster. Picture it if you haven't seen it. Yep. These things, although maybe inappropriate, add another dimension that isn't completely kiddie-focused and somewhat laughable. Although some of the most recent games haven't really done that, which is understandable in today's PG world. Along this are the dark stories behind what seem like regular characters as a kid, but as you get older, realize have a lot more depth. Wally being a sick kid wanting to travel with his Ralts, and Blues Raticate never appearing again after the Cubone and Marowak event, and the Cubone and Marowak event in general. The fact his mom was murdered. I love these, although creepy, but real storylines in Pokemon, and give more perspective for kids as to what the world brings. P.S. Can you imagine if the next game had an NPC wearing a mask that says, "You're standing too close, get away"? I don't know that reference, and that's okay. Anyway, if you read this, thank you. I've been listening to your podcast and catching up recently, as I've only recently gotten into podcasts, and I have loved Pokemon since I was a 3-year-old little girl, and am now a 20-year-old now, so Pokemon's played a huge part of my life. Stay awesome, and thank you. We appreciate you.
I think they were just talking COVID. I think that's all that was.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
As like Pokemon World making mention of it in the next game.
Oh, a mask. Okay, so like when she said mask, I was thinking of who's the ghost type gym leader this gen?
Ghosty.
Oh my gosh.
Shield, so I don't know his name.
Alistair. I pictured that mask. And I'm like, why would anybody wear that mask and tell you you're standing too close and go away? Are they antisocial? That's where my thought went. I apologize that I didn't get the very obvious joke. And narrow over Thatch's head. God. I think that the winner this week is absolutely Coil.
Sure.
Coil.
I think Coil won. Hands down. Okay, so Coil, you got the Green Taurus badge. Ask for it if you want it. I know your name's purple and you might want to change it to a different color. Who knows? All right.
We're forcing the color change. We're forcing that.
Oh, we forced the color. We could just do it now.
I'm doing it. It's already happening.
And so on that note, if you want to send us an email next week at puclpodcast@gmail.com, you can send it into, like I said, that email address, and you can let us know what you think might come in Crowned Tundra that we haven't seen yet, or what you're most excited for in Crowned Tundra. Let us know, puclpodcast@gmail.com. We will also, if you want to keep up with the show throughout the week, come to our Discord, hang out. You can also follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. You can also follow along with us at youtube.com/puclpodcast, where P Mcgee and Cloud9 actually record a video every week about the team mentioned in whatever this is. What do we, Poke of the Episode? That's the name of that segment. I've only been doing this for how long? Like 13 years?
Something like that.
And I don't remember the names of my segments. What are you talking about? And Thatch hasn't streamed very recently, but once Thatch gets back from vacation, I'm sure he will. Over at twitch.tv/thepuklepodcast. You guys also had a really cool idea for another charity stream, and I want to do it. I really want to do that. That's such a good idea. And then we're going to go ahead and let's see what else. Oh, if you want to support the show financially, you could do so in a couple ways. One, you can go over to Twitch, drop us a Twitch Prime subscription. We always appreciate that. You can always go over to our TeePublic Store and buy something over there. Anything you buy goes back to we get a little piece of that back to the store. If you want to support us more directly and get things like Pokemon giveaways, get cheaper gym badges when they come out in November, you can always go over to patreon.com/puclepodcast. With that in mind, though, I think that is everything. I usually ramble at the end of the show. So I have been Trainer Thatch.
I've been R.Sigma.
And I have been P Mcgee.
And in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.